Hello and welcome to May's Let's Plays. And you guys have requested this over on my Twitch channel. So I'm going to do a little brief tutorial series. I think this is going to probably end up as to play RimWorld. Now, like I said, if you've seen me play this game, I play with a lot of mods. But as you can see, I've turned them all off. Core is the game. Ignore that one, but everything else is turned off. So this is straight out the box, the newest patch. You can see here the date I'm doing it. Latest version. So, first things first, to start the game, you want to create a new world. And you can put in a random seed, like just random, or I don't know why you'd have reset and random. What does that do? Alright, that resets the size as well. So let's just have a small tutorial world, and we'll just put in a random seed like that. So generate me a map. And this is it. And I've also turned on the tutorial so you can see yourself sort of how the tutorial goes. But yes, right. So here's the world we have created. You got mode here, you can see elevation. So is that really high then? Oh, that's a tribe. Obviously you can see lower, higher. You can see rainfall. So there's a lot of rain down here. This is like a rainforest, temperate forest, mountains, flats. You can go by temperature, which is kind of useful actually. So you can see up here you're going to have a lot of trouble. It's average temperature minus 21. Down here, average temperature 31. So it helps you pick out where you want to go. I normally leave it on biomes just so I can see like, oh, let's go start in the forest. So yeah, that's the basic layout of this. I'll explain more because we're going to save and finish. We're happy with that. And we need to create a new colony. Now, so you've got three choices here. You've got Cassandra Classic, which is your standard quote-unquote story mode. Like, this is the one that will adapt with you. It says here, creates a story events, steadily increasing curve of challenging and tension. So that's the one that I kind of like that. You sort of know what's happening, it's all logical. Then you've got Phoebe Chillax. Gives you a lot of time between disasters to relax and rebuild your colony, but beware if she gets a high challenge scale, she'll hit you as hard as anyone. So basically she's, if you're more practicing, like if you want to have less stuff happen to you but you still want stuff to happen, this is the one for you. And then we got Randy Random. He don't follow no rules. I was just about to say he doesn't follow rules, but it says it there. He doesn't follow rules. Generates random events, and he doesn't care if they make a story of triumph or utter hopelessness. It's all drama. So he's because like the best way to describe it is she will send you like one raider. For your first raid, you'll probably get 1 or 2 raiders with her. He could send you a whole army on your first raid. So I'm not sure about her. I don't play her that much, but I think she is a weakened version of Cassandra Classic. So let's go for Cassandra Classic and we'll go on. You can see here the different things. You've got free play, which when threats appear they're extremely weak. Base builder, which is, so you got free play, easy, medium, hard, very hard. So let's go medium. And next, choose the world. These are other worlds from various different times, but you can see the one we created. If you've just started like fresh out the box, you won't have these. It'll be the first one, or you could take a note of the name, I guess. But there you go. And let's find us a place to settle down. Now, pro tip here from someone that plays this game a lot, especially if you're starting, if you're starting, what you are going to want to do is look around. First thing you want to do is see the growing times, because they go as you imagine. You can't grow up at the top, you can grow more down where it's warmer. So you want all year round growing. Especially like I said, if this is your First colony, have all year round growing. Nobody will think any less of you. And another pro tip is if you can get one with, that's large hills. If you can get one that's flat, there we go, with mountains, that'll come on later. What's advanced? Oh, so you can set, like, when you start, how big the map is. I didn't know about this, actually. I don't know if this is a new feature or I've just never noticed it. That's quite useful. And here you go. This is us now starting our colony. So, if we look, this is... We've got a male human colonist who's 29, but he's actually 81, but he was frozen for 81 minus 29, essentially. And when you get... Right, here's a proper tip. Another tip for you. If you're starting this, you don't want people incapable of anything. You want them to be able to do everything. So this guy's a brawler and a nudist. So he can't shoot. Well, he can shoot, but he'll be unhappy about it. But he can't. He can socialize. He can do medicine. He can cook. He can grow. He can do everything. So we'll have him. Let's go for the next one. Abrasive slowpoke psychopath. So he'll annoy everyone. He's very slow, and he doesn't care if he get. Oh, sorry. She doesn't care if she gets socialized or not. She can sit in a room on her own. The other thing, if you want to go... we'll do this, and then I'll show you thingy. Here's one perfect. We don't have to change anything. Female human colonist. So she's prostophobe, doesn't want bionic parts. And abrasive, so she always upsets people. So Job and Savannah are going to get on very well. Alright, so if you want to go a bit more deeper with this, you can look in here. Click the little I button. And get more information. You got... They're a human. That's how fast they can walk. 4.61 cells per second. They break and go insane at 5%. And basically, this is quite... This is really useful. I know it sounds stupid, but you can... If you're going for like a perfect run, you can see... Like this guy, not very likely to get food poisoning. And he can research like a boss. This guy's a researcher through and through. And you can use that for like... Okay, I'll put him on research. Health. See if we've got anyone with anything missing to demonstrate the health. Oh, there you go. Right, so... Sometimes they'll have your starting colonists. They will acquire these. Or mine always acquire some type of health problem. But... As you can see there, 34 out of 40 basically means that out of 40 hit points, he's got 33 left. Because the stab scars took 6 hit points off. But also... Oh, it doesn't. Sometimes you can have stuff like cataracts. And what that does is it can affect your sight, your hearing, your blood filtration. And that goes sort of as you would expect. Like, if you've got cataracts, you can't see that well, which means you can't shoot that well. You can't do stuff that requires eyes very well. And like I said, if you've got one leg, you're going to move slower. It's all very much self-explanatory. So here we go. Here's the story. The three of you wake up in your cryo-sleep sarcophagi to the sounds of sirens and ripping metal. You barely escape the pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you awake on the land... Let me try that again. Sometimes later you land on an unknown RimWorld. As pieces of shredded metal falls around you, you start making plans to survive. And there's our little pods. So there we go. This is the main quote-unquote game screen. Now I gotta remember that I play with a lot of mods, so I was expecting something else there. One of the mods, and I'll put it in the link to the description in this. If you are going to get this game, one mod you definitely need is EDB's interface. Which what it does is it basically allows you to select colonists from the top of the screen. Because now if I was over here and I'm like, oh, I want to tell Elk to do something. I got to hit the period and comma key to find him. And that's the only way to move around them. but with EDB's interface, you can just click and you're done. Also, what you see in what I'm doing when I'm clicking on things is that someone over here, some over here. Yeah, you see little X's? Nobody's allowed to touch that. That is untouchable stuff. Just make sure that... Yep, sorry, I don't know why I suddenly thought this screen wasn't edge to edge. It is. That means that nobody will move these. If I left them like that, nobody would move them. So the way to do it here is forbid. Colonists will not interact. So F. Not forbidden. Colonists may interact. And another tip, if you double click on an item, it selects everything in your field of view. Like here, double click that. All the package survival. All the steel. So that's basically the very basics. Moving with WASD, as you'd expect. Scrolling in and out with mouse wheel. Left, right. Right brings up your architect. I don't ever use that, I normally click on it. But you can use shortcut keyboards, but I don't. I'll be honest with you, I find just clicking on stuff easier. So anyway, right, we need to get going. So let's have a look. I'm going to rename these, just for ease's sake, to 1, 2. I should have done this at the beginning, but I didn't think of it. 3. So now it's just going to be easier for me to refer to them and remember the name. So 1, 2, 3. Alright, so who is our... So he's a brawler. He won't be happy with the guns. You see, there's a gun there and a gun there. Pistol and survival rifle. So who's got the best shooting? 1. Welcome aboard. Get your survival rifle. And that's just simply going over to the item, hover, right-click, equip pistol. And number 3, go and get the little plasteel knife. And then unpause. And there you go. You can see that they've just picked up all the weapons. So if I go onto gear... I really should have turned this off. Yes, I know about that. She's holding a survival rifle and she's got the trousers on. Let me just... Oh, I use them at the bottom right. I just want these to go away because it's quite annoying. There we go. Make this go away. I'll explain some of these as we go along. I just want all the things to go. There we go. Right, so now our colonists have their weapons. If anything were to happen now, we can fend for ourselves. We can hunt animals if we need to. And essentially we're on our way. So, what do we need? We need a bedroom. You can see here, build a room. Now this is why I was saying start on a mountain. For a little Brucey tip for you. To build, you need obviously material. And you can see here, you can make wooden walls, steel walls. Wood, steel, and silver at the beginning. And wood, obviously, is very easy to find. You know, it's not going to be that difficult. You know where to get it. Trees, steel, I'll show you when we get to it. And silver is our currency. So I wouldn't recommend having silver walls. But hey, if you want to be luxurious. But anyway, the tip is if you start in a mountainous region, you can simply mine into the mountain like this. I'll explain mining as well. I'm just giving them my standard bedrooms. Right. So there we go. We've set up. Oh, that what I did there was go into orders. Oh, got so much to explain. This is why I don't do tutorial videos. Alright, so if we go in orders, these are what we can... Because we can't affect them directly. The only way we can direct them effectively is if they're recruited. Which we'll come to later in a later episode. We'll get to recruitment. But for now, we'll just go through the basics. So, what I did was go into orders. Right, down here. You can right-click, bring up architect and go into orders. And you've got cancel, which is obviously you cancel a job, so don't mind that. There we go. Deconstruct. Deconstruct this wall. Haul, which we'll get onto in a minute. Cut plants. I wouldn't recommend using cut plants, but if you want to clear a bit where there's no plants growing, there you go. Harvest. This is the more... click on it, May. This is the more useful one. Harvest. So basically, if there's any plants... I don't seem to have any. There we go. If there's any plants that we can get berries from with the harvest tool, we get it. So it'll give us berries. Not many, but we don't have to grow them at the same time. We don't have to worry about that. Chop wood, pretty self-explanatory. Hunt, pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to set it because we'll die straight away. Claim. So if you look at like this building here, this doesn't belong to anyone. But you click old claim, drag over, now it's ours. So if this gets damaged, we'll come repair it. I think it's if it's set on fire, it will. Strip is for dead bodies, which we'll get when we get one. Rearm traps for when we got traps. Plan is quite nice. Plan is say... Oh, I should actually cancel that, right. If we say... Let's build a room. Will it fit? Obviously we know it'll fit, we've just done it, but... There you go. So we can plan out and say there's going to be one room there. Oh, didn't work, right. God, I've just messed that up. Hold on. Cancel. Just messed that up. Ignore, like, I'll explain going to the sizes and a bit more of the deeper mechanics later on of why I do 5x5 rooms and stuff. But there we go. So we can plan. And say if we wanted to go like, to protect ourselves, let's build a wall over here. And over here. Oh, over here? Over here. So you get the idea. It's pretty self-explanatory plan tools. It's just quite nice. I don't know why I like that. I like it in this game. Right. Okay. Now this is an important... This is probably most important for you. No, in fact, I might end this episode here. I'm going to end this episode here, and next time we'll get on to sort of playing the game and actually unpausing, maybe. Depends how it goes. So, stay tuned for more tutorials of RimWorld. So, obviously, if you like this, let me know. And if there's any other games you'd like a tutorial for, in my terrible fashion, let me know. Okay. So the one thing left for me to say, guys, is that I've been May. You guys have been fabulous. Look after yourselves, guys.